Hi everyone. How are you? Um, Hi Jimmy, Steve, American Me, DeBella, Carmine, Mickey, Caesar, Michael, Delstrain, Cromel. How are you, Cromel? Johnny Gebbert. Hello, Raymondi. Hi, cousin Paulie. Hi, Steve, Bill, Joey, uh, Alan. Hello, Holly Golightly. Hi, Cromel. I'm right here, Carmine, Mickey, Heather, Michael Caputo. How are you? Common Sense. How are you? Minnie the Moocher, Fin Freak. Hello, JTP. How are you? Craig, Simping Ain't Easy, Emmanuel, Giovanni, and Bill. How are you all? Craig also. Um, if I sound like I'm not in a great mood, I'm not. We had to put our dog down today, the Cane Corso Caesar. So I was in like a little bit of a bad mood, sad mood, and then I caught something on YouTube, which was a total farce, a total lie, and a total disgrace. And Tom Lavecchia, shame on you. I warned FBS about you. Ask him. I warned him. He didn't listen. Now he knows. Um, First, let me say this. John Alite, I don't care what he says, he did not know John Gotti Sr. He did not know him. 1,000 more times I will say it. I will say it every single day for the rest of my life. John Alite did not know John Gotti Sr. Okay? One of the things that Tom talked about today with him was, let's see. Let's start with Alite claims now he shot somebody not in front of our house. Now it was my grandmother's house. He forgot to mention that my grandmother's block, Tony Pep and Tony Lee lived on her block. So I strongly doubt that you got away with doing any of that crap on Tony Lee and Tony Pep's block and my grandmother's block. You're a liar, okay? You said that you were partners with Willie Boy Johnson, right? But Michael Francis said he was in business partners with Willie Boy Johnson. He also said he never heard of Alite until Alite popped up on social media. Now, hold on 1 second. Let me see if I could get this. You let me know what you think of it. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Oh, I know where I put it. Hold on. Okay, I want you to listen to this. Let me know if you could hear it. Where's the voice on this? Okay, I guess. Hold on. I'm sorry. I should have had this ready. I didn't. I didn't even remember that I had it until a little while ago. All right, here it is. Hold on. Listen to this now.
Willie Boy Johnson, I had a relationship with Willie. I was shy like a money with him. I had probably $100,000 that I gave him and Vito Guzzo on the street. Got along good with him. But he was a Gotti guy. And Gotti knew I would try like with him. He said, okay. When we find out he was an informant for 25, 30 years, I was on the seventh, I think it's the seventh floor in NBC. Willie Boy was behind the glass. That's a bad sign. When they got somebody behind the glass, that's where a lot of the informants were. And John had sent word to me, try to talk to Willie, see if he's really an informant. Well, he's behind the glass. I couldn't really talk to him, but I used to hold up a piece of paper. Willie, is it true? But as a guy 30 years, how do you know who to...
Okay, did you hear that? Did everybody hear it? Hi, Cuban. Did everybody hear what I just played? You heard it? Okay, so everybody heard it. Okay. Shame on you, Tom LaVecchia. Okay. Tom LaVecchia didn't want to read Tommy Karate's letter, or he just didn't read it. But if you read that letter, it said, first of all, the letter was Tom made up some excuse. Oh, he might be getting out. So, he wrote the letter was from 2018. Okay. 2018. And if you bothered reading it, this man said that not only did he never hear of John Alite, he was in prison. He was already in prison when Alite claimed that he did that. Okay? And maybe he forgot and didn't see on JohnAliteFacts.com Frank Ganji calling Alite a liar. Who's this? Angel who was speaking? That was Michael Francis. Okay, he also brought up Joe O'Kane. Joe O'Kane testified. He testified for my brother. He testified for the defense, saying he barely knew my brother John. John Burke said he never even met my brother John. Both of them were offered a get-out-of-jail-free card. Guess what? Both of them turned it down because they said they would not lie. They would not back up John Alite's lies. Okay? Tom let that go too. Okay. It was Tony Pep who told everyone that Alite was friends with an FBI agent, Dave Gentile. And Alite admitted that they knew each other, that they were friends in the early 90s, 91, I believe, okay? So it was Tony Pep. Okay. Alite claimed in the beginning that it was Charlie Canisi who came and brought him proof that my brother was ratting. But when Charlie was going to go after him, Alite then changed it to Joseph Carrazzo. Joseph Carrazzo denied it also. Okay? I wrote these things down so I wouldn't forget. Alite trashed my father for years. Go check out his very first interviews from 2015. He trashed my father. Sammy was the good guy. Sammy Gravano was the great guy. My father was trashed. The things he said about my father were disgusting. I have every single thing he ever said. But no one went back to that. No one, Tom, you didn't go back to 2015. There is no mention of John Gotti Sr. in Alite's 302s, his testimony, or his book. He wasn't friends with my father and his right-hand man and became a street boss and all that crap in his book. Go look in his book. He said that about Gene Gotti. First of all, go to JohnAliteFacts.com and you'll see Gene Gotti was picked up. He was caught on a prison visiting room bug saying he didn't trust this kid Alite. You could look that up on johnalifacts.com. It was in the newspapers. I believe it was either the New York Post or I think it was the New York Post. Go look that up. When Tom first interviewed Alite, okay, after this attack at Sugar Daddy's, Alite said that it was many men who attacked him. Many. Tom knows that. Tom, why didn't you go back and check your New Theory interviews? Tom, you knew that. He said it was many men. I don't remember if he said it was 13, 14, whatever. He made up some number of men that attacked him at Sugar Daddy's. Today, he admits it's one guy. He admits that it was one guy today. Again, I warned people about Tom. Alite has never had any conversation with my father, let alone a conversation about the government. It never happened. Never, ever happened. Okay? Dave Gentile is the FBI agent that Alite was friends with from the early 90s. They both admitted it. They both, in earlier podcasts, in earlier interviews, they both said they were friends. Okay? Dave Gentile was part of the Forbes magazine interview. So he keeps referring to this Forbes magazine. These are all his FBI buddies that are giving the interview with him. Okay? Jimmy Alite made so many Facebook posts and interviews. Go check out the Frank Morano interview. Made so many interviews that his brother was a liar and he didn't even know John Gotti Sr. Alite years ago claimed he went to Florida with my father. And Jimmy Alite came out and said, "Why are you lying? You never even met John Gotti Sr." And that's his own brother. Exactly. That's his own brother. Okay. My daughter is here. She doesn't really feel well. She was going to come on with me. Now, here. He also said he never had a friendship. He doesn't want to talk. He doesn't care what Jimmy Calandra says. Well, you did have a little friendship with Jimmy Calandra. Like a few years ago, maybe 2015, 16, you did. And you said that you never called him out. Yes, you did. You called him out. Alite called out Calandra. We all heard it. We all saw it. But when Jimmy Calandra challenged you to a fight, he backed down. Alite backed down, and all of a sudden, he don't want to talk about Calandra. By the way, I'll take 5 Calandras over 1 Alite any day of the week. How's that? Okay. From 2015 to 2021, this year, the beginning of this year too, Alite trashed my father. He went after him, calling out everything you could think of, he has said about my father, everything. And I have it all as proof. I have it all.
Meanwhile, if Papa were alive, he wouldn't have 2 words to say.
Exactly. So because I called him out on his lies, I was never afraid of him. I spoke my piece. I said what I had to say. I defended my father. I defended my family. For that, what he did, let me tell you some of the things that he did. He said, I cursed like a truck driver. I threatened his kids. I sent nude photos to Jeff Canassi of Mod Talk Radio. I could never get a man because I was a truck driver. My father called me a rat. Every disgusting thing you can think of, Alite did to me on Facebook. And now he has like his other friend doing it on Instagram. But no matter what, I never backed down. I still went out and I still called him a liar. Everywhere I could, I said, you're a pathological liar. You're a liar. So I called him out. Where is Gravano's daughter? Why isn't she calling him out now? He's going to go after her father. Where is she? Aren't you going to defend your father? Didn't I warn you about him when you were your little cozy friendship you were developing? Didn't I warn you against him? Now you know. I have snapshots of him praising Gravano, bragging, just you wait. Sammy's coming home soon. Just you all wait. He's coming home. Well, he's home now, and Alite is trashing him. But nobody's going after him for doing that. So, okay. I got that off my shoulders. I didn't even listen to the rest of it. Excuse me. I didn't even, it was just like, it was so many things. I couldn't even put it all down. Oh, let's see. How is everyone? Yes, he is. He is pure garbage. Pure garbage. He's a liar. He's a liar. Sam, you want to know the truth? Sammy Gravano didn't want to put up with it, didn't want to go along with his lies, just like John Burke, just like Joe O'Kane. They didn't want to go along with his lies. So he dumped Gravano, and now it's my father who's the greatest thing since sliced bread. How doesn't anybody see that? How doesn't anybody see through this? Hello, Miss Can't Be Wrong. Hi, Yankees for Life. Hi, Severio. Yes, he is. Yeah, I saw some of those, Mo. I didn't know if you were the same Mo, but I saw some of those. In the pictures of Alite with your brother, Alite looks like a punk teen. They were kids. What was that? 84, 85, 86, like that? Like I said, they were friends on and off. They became a little closer in 89, and he was chased in 91. And you know what? You will see that soon. You will hear and see everything. Exactly. He's a liar. He's such a liar. You know what? There's times when I really sit and I scratch my head and I say, I don't understand. This is so easy. All you have to do is go back to 2015. Go back to his beginning. How isn't he embarrassed? But he is. He's shameless. He is just pure, nothing but shameless. Nothing can shame him. But you know what? Tom LaVecchia, shame on you. Whenever John Alite does it, you see one of Gotti's senior's relatives giving interviews about him. What? Whenever John Alite does a new interview, you see one of Gotti Senior's relatives giving interviews about him. No, wait, we'll just sit back. I'll just sit back and let him lie. Morons. Hello, Rashid. Really? Well, guess what, Gigi? How come he told the judge that he only shot one man? Why did he do that? So you're saying that he raised his hand to the judge, swore on the Bible that he shot more? So you're saying he lied? He swore to the judge with his hand in the air he shot one man. And he was guilty of 4 or 5 conspiracies. You look desperate in that stream today. He paid Sammy for a real gangster point. Exactly. How come he's not bringing that up? How come he's not bringing that up? But you know what? Shame on him too, because he could have called him out, but he just won't. For whatever reason, he won't. Hi, Angel. Alite was a wannabe and a storyteller. He embellishes the truth in order to make money. Yes, 100%. Hello, Justice Tech Pros. Hi, Dom. I sent you a message. However, I figure it is good to mention here as well. Let's do a show, you and I, and talk about those platforms. Would you like to come on right now? I didn't get it. I wasn't on anything today, but if you want to come on now, Dominic, I'll drop a link for you. Because this is really ridiculous. Let me see. Sure. Okay. Yes, I will. I'll give you 5 minutes. And I am very happy to have you come on. I don't know what I did with my phone anyway. What did I do with my phone? I lost my phone. I know I put it on silent. Oh, well, I don't need the phone anyway, but I'm just curious. So you got the people. So you always got the best people on here. Oh, thank you very much, Severio. And they are great people. This chat is a great group of people. Hi, Edward. How are you? Hi, D. Allen. Hi, Vikings. Thomas. Mike. Let's see. Everyone is making. Yes, that's true. Everyone is making off your father's name. Yeah, exactly. Angel, it was ridiculous, but a lot of people called him out because we know the truth. No, I know. I saw it. I thought you were talking to the dogs. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, everyone. How about the story he told your dad slapping him? Oh, please. Oh, please. Yeah, that's right. The one where he was in the basement of some restaurant. Oh, please. Angelus, thank you, Michael. Hi, Common Sense. Tom Lavecchia is a effing clown. I wish I could come on and tell you. Would you like to come on right now? Before JTP said give him 5 minutes. So would you want to come on? Okay, wait. Let me drop the link for Justice Text first. He's ready. Oh, look, I'm getting better at this. Now I just have to figure out how to put pictures up. I wanted to show some of the snapshots I had, but I have to figure out how to do this. Common Sense, would you want to come on when, after Justice Tech Pros gets off? Okay, good. All right, good. Thank you. Hello there, Thomas.
Hey, Angel. How are you? Can you hear me?
Hold on. I had the volume down. I'm sorry. How are you?
Good. How you doing tonight?
I'm a little blah.
I could hear that. First, I want to tell you I'm sorry for your dog. That's terrible.
Thank you. He listen, those dogs, the King Corsos, he's a big dog. They don't live long lives. He was 10 years old, and I mean, his legs gave out on him. Once a dog can't walk and be a dog,
Yeah, once their quality of life is affected, then unfortunately you got to make that decision.
Exactly. And they could have done steroid therapy, but he wasn't going to be able to walk.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Once I see their quality of life going down the hill and they can't walk and they're having accidents, I mean, what kind of life is that? For me, I feel like I'm almost being selfish by keeping them alive,
100%. And that's the first thing I asked the vet. Listen, what's the chances here? 50-50. No, I'm not happy with that. If you tell me 70-30 that they'll be okay, then yeah, maybe I'll go along with it. But other than I will never let an animal suffer. So, it's sad. I feel bad because, like I said, like my mother-in-law is very close to him. My husband was really, really close to him. So he's devastated. It's just so sad.
Yeah, that's the only problem with these damn animals. You get so attached to them. A few months ago, I had to put down. I had a mini schnauzer, and I got her 14 years ago. So my son was a kid. He was like 4 or 5 years old. So she grew up with him. And when you got to put them down, it's rough. It's rough.
I had a schnauzer too, and I think she lasted to 15 years. This was like our childhood dog. So believe me, I know how your son feels. That is the whole family. Forget it. We were devastated.
Yeah, it's rough. It really is.
Yeah. So
But I
what?
sent you a message earlier because one thing that I can't wrap my head around. You get a lot of these podcasters and they'll platform these lying informants and they almost throw their hands up in the air like, what? I'm not doing nothing. I'm just doing an interview. And I disagree with that because there's a difference between doing a hard-hitting interview and just giving somebody a platform to spread lies. There's a big difference in that. And what I notice what happens a lot, the podcaster will say something and it's pretty clear as day that the person's lying, right? But you ever notice they don't stop and address it and say, okay, you just lied. Why'd you just lie? They'll gloss over it and just kind of sweep it under the rug and keep going. And then later on say, oh no, I called out his lies. No, you didn't. You have to stop it and say, well, wait a minute. You just lied right here. Why did you lie? We just proved you lie. And, there's that old saying, falsus uno, falsus in omnibus. You lie to me once, everything's a lie. So
Exactly.
So I just don't understand I see that a lot. It'll be, oh, I'm just an interview. But you're really not because you're platforming. You're allowing these lies to grow. And let's face it, you're giving it credibility. You know how the general public is. They see somebody on a show. They're like, oh, wow, they're on this big show. They're talking, so they must be credible. And that's the problem. They're validating them without realizing that. But I'm not so sure if they don't realize that, to be honest with you.
You know what? I mean, come on. I mean, if you're going to do an interview with anyone, don't be, what it reminds me of? Like when a celebrity goes on to one of these talk shows just to plug a movie.
Right.
That's what they're doing. That's what these so-called interviewers, especially these YouTubers, that's what they're doing. It's like he's coming on the show to plug something. It's like all friendly. No, why don't you ask some serious questions? Why don't you get 10 questions that you know the answers to 100% and then ask them?
Yes, I agree. And here's the thing with that. They're trying to paint a gray line where to me it's not a gray line. It's very black and white. So if you're claiming just to be an interviewer, let's say that you're an objective interviewer, right? Okay. If that's the case and you're not trying to buddy up to someone or just let them use your platform, then why aren't you challenging them and being more direct when you catch them in a lie?
Exactly.
When you don't, then that tells me you're not really an interviewer. You're not somebody going after the truth or what this. That tells me either you're buddies with the person, or as you said, you're helping them promote something. You can't claim to be something. You can't claim to be an objective interviewer, an objective podcaster, but then allow people to get away with BS. If you're gonna address somebody, you're gonna debate somebody, and you catch them tripping up. You catch them in a lie. I'm not saying you got to embarrass them, but what you should do, I feel you're obligated to do, is stop it right in its tracks and address it and say, okay, this is a lie. So you're agreeing you lied. Everything shows you lied. Are you agreeing you lied? That's the problem I have. It gets glossed over. And it's funny because even in the courtroom on some cases, I always, and the attorneys would always get annoyed with me. I would tell them, when you catch these guys in a lie, don't keep going. Because sometimes the juror is not going to pick up on it. You got to stop and make sure you're letting that person know that you know they're lying and make sure you let the jurors know that you just caught them in a lie. Don't gloss over it.
100%. You know what? You know what? This guy's right. Where is it? I lost it. Something like say someone like, listen, I happen to really like him, so I'm going to bring his name up. But like Tucker Carlson, he doesn't sit there and let them just say whatever they want to say, fly over his head. No, he stops them. Wait, what are you talking about? You said this in 2015, but these other people on here on YouTube, it's all a joke. I mean, especially like with Tom, you interviewed him, you gave him the platform in 2015. So you know more than anybody that his story has changed dramatically. Now it's all about, you were Gotti's right-hand man. Are you kidding me? And then you did an interview with him where he said that I don't know how many men beat him up and sugar daddies. Now today it's just one. And you didn't stop him and ask him about that. Wait a minute, John. You said this in, 3 years ago. What do you mean now it's just one guy?
Correct. There was a lot of ways to easily, point that out. We're using that as an example, but that's where I just kind of, I think they're almost playing with words where they're saying, oh, I'm just a podcaster. I'm trying to interview somebody. I'm trying to do it professionally. Okay, I get that. I understand that. And it makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of interviewers out there. They may just not like a person, but they want to interview them and go through it. But then you have to really do an interview. You can't just create a platform to allow promotion, to allow your buddy to plug whatever he's working on. When you catch him, you got to challenge him. And if he's telling the truth, okay, fine. He's telling the truth. It is what it is. Move on to the next thing. But if somebody's coming on all these on all these channels and they're trying to tell their narrative and they're blatantly lying, for me anyway, if I was an interviewer and I know a guest is blatantly lying to my face, number one, I'm going to call it out. And number two, I'll never have them on again.
Exactly.
What's the sense of having somebody on that is lying to you, that is BSing you? I do understand. I can never do it. Just the way I would never interact with an informant, talk to an informant, debate an informant. I want nothing to do with them. But I would understand it more if the person doing it was objective about it, did challenge, and then I could say, oh, you know what? Okay, they're being a journalist about it. That's what they're doing. But that's really not what's happening here. I see too many lies being swept under the rug, too many things not being confronted. And then not only that, then you see show after show after show after show.
Exactly. Like if you're going to, my point is this, if you know your, how can I say, know your subject before you even platform them. Otherwise, you're just a talk show host, letting them, advertise on your stage. That's it. Know
Correct.
your subject. Know it. Then ask them the questions and then push back. Tell them, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. That's not what you said, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. That's not what you said. Why has your story changed? I'd have more respect for anyone who did that.
Exactly. And it's just a matter, and you don't have to be rude about it. You don't have to insult your guest about it. It's very easy. It's not the old saying, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So they could tell them in a nice way, say they don't want to come across as unprofessional. Again, totally get it. You could call somebody's lies out without being rude and insulting. You could just tell them, okay, listen, I don't care what you tell me. The evidence shows otherwise, so you're lying to me. I don't know if you want to keep going with that lie, or do you want to say why you lied? I think they need to address it more. And if they truly were about being objective and just trying to do good interviews and just trying to put out material they think their audience wants to see, then do that in the right way. You can't do it where you can do it. They're obviously doing it. Don't misunderstand me.
Right.
You can do it. You could side with them, but then don't claim that you're not siding with them. Don't claim that you're not friendly with them. Don't claim that you're not friends with them and that you're just doing it in the name of journalism, because that's not what I see going on anyway.
Right. And also the when you say, oh, well, I couldn't really push back on him because then he would have hung up.
So let him hang up.
Let him hang up. Exactly.
Yeah.
Let him hang up, and you showing people what this person is all about. No,
That's right. If I have somebody on and I'm challenging them and they want to throw a tantrum and hang up, so be it. But I'm not gonna. That I'll tell you what that tells me, Angel. That tells me that the truth is their belief system does not entail thinking that, okay, this guy's an informant, so I really don't want to deal with him, which is fine. But if you notice, a lot of people say, oh, I don't like informants, and then they're buddies with him, they're platforming him, and that's the only issue I have. Nobody here is telling anybody not to like informants. Everybody's got to do what they're comfortable with. I have my own code I go by. I don't force it on anybody. But when I get a little like, I'm like, what is this guy talking about? Is when in one breath they come out saying how much they hate something, hate a behavior, hate something somebody does. And then they say, well, this guy's okay. I'm going to hang out with this guy. That's where it gets very convoluted to me. And that just tells me it's not somebody who really follows their belief system.
Okay, I understand that. But my point is this, like if just what you said, then say it. Listen, this is how I feel. How can I explain this without, in other words, like me, I don't go after everybody who testified against my brother. I don't go after anyone. But if you're going to lie, I'm going to call you out. So if I call you out, it's so frustrating to me. It's like I'm losing my whole train of thought, Dominic.
I know exactly what you're trying to say, though. And one thing you got to remember, and I told you this when we first started interacting, all of our actions are actually reactions. Everything
Right.
that's going on now is us reacting. We did not start this ball rolling. We did not come on here and just say, I'm going to go after this one. He's lying, this one. No. They were on here telling their tales, spreading their nonsense. And now there's family members, there's friends, there's people who care, there's defense teams that are going to take insult to that and they're going to respond to that. So it's always been a reaction. So I know exactly what you're saying. When somebody hears a lie, there's nothing wrong with just stopping the discussion and saying, well, wait a minute, you just lied. How could the audience believe anything else you're saying when I just caught you in 2-3 lies? And where I have a problem, if you know somebody's a liar and they keep lying, why do you keep having them on? That's what I don't get.
Exactly. And you know what? And I know for a fact, I heard it with my own ears. I might even have a record of it, of Tom LaVecchia saying that he knew John Alite was a liar. But it's all about the views. It's all about the attention it gets. That's all it's about. And if he doesn't believe me and he wants to challenge me, I will let him challenge me and I will play it for him.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It's all about the
been
views.
several
It's okay.
interviews, right?
Yeah, it's all about the views. It doesn't matter that you're hurting people. It's only about your selfishness, your views, your subs, the attention you get. You don't care if somebody's lying and hurting other people. I mean, it's disgusting. It really is.
Well, it goes back to what I was saying a little earlier, Angel. I would, not that I agree with it, don't misunderstand me, but I would understand it more and I would respect it more if it was done in the manner that I was talking about earlier, where they're interviewing them. Okay, I want to know this. And then they catch them on a lie and they call it out. Then I would say, hey, you know what? This guy is objective. Okay, I may not agree with him into viewing an informant, but what does that mean? That's my own personal belief. That has nothing to do with anything. So I would say, yeah, he did a good job. He challenged him, he caught him, but I never see that happening. I see a lot of the lies coming out and almost being glossed over. Like, all right, forget about that. Let's move on. That's what I see happening. And to me, that's not journalism. That's not a confrontational interview. That's just having a buddy on to promote his stuff and to get his narrative out there.
Exactly. So then just say it. Just admit it. Don't say, oh, I have some homework to do, and then come back, 4 or 5 weeks later and put that garbage up there. You put that garbage up there like you did your homework. You asked unnamed sources. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of homework and what kind of
Yeah.
people would be able to either validate or not validate those stories. So I don't know what that entailed either. I don't
Right.
know.
And you said you went back and you read his first book. You read it. So what how didn't you see that him never being a part of John Gotti Sr.'s life wasn't true? How did you not see that? It's not in that book, all the things that he's saying today.
You know what it is, and I got to be honest. The little interaction I've had with Tom, he emailed me, I responded. He seems like a gentleman as far as that goes, as far as communication and going back and forth. And it's from what I heard, he wants to be more professional about it and be objective. But I don't know if he could see from the outside looking in what's taking place, because those interviews are not objective. And I would tell him this the same way I'm saying it now. I'm sure he'll hear this. There's just nothing objective about that. When you catch somebody on a lie, and we're not just talking about a lie here, we're talking about lies that impact families. They impact your family, they impact people, they're impacting families. So when you're aware of that and you look at the bigger picture, you have somewhat of a responsibility to address that and let your audience know. Maybe there's somebody who logged on for the first time, and they just happen to catch this guy. They don't know who his guest is. They don't know Tom. They're just listening. Now they'll walk away from that going, oh, wow, he had this guy on and this guy was telling all these amazing things. They're going to believe that all. So
Exactly.
it's the duty of the host to make sure that's not what happens, and to make sure what's true is said as truth, and what's false, you have to call it out and show it's false. That's how I see it.
Exactly. See, like I could never, let's just use this. I could never interview or even challenge Gravano because I don't know anything about that. I only know like what I read in my brother's book, but I don't know because I wasn't at the trials. I didn't know, I don't believe newspapers. I don't believe TV news. I don't believe it. If I see it with my own eyes, that's when I believe it. So I can't do anything about it. Whatever he's saying now, that's up to my brother or anybody else who knows about it to deal with that.
Yeah.
But Alite, I know. I mean, I know because I sat through the trials. I sat through 4 racketeering trials. So I know what was said, what wasn't said. His name wasn't mentioned 3 trials, and his name got mentioned the 4th trial. You were my father's right hand man. Supposedly, you were this hitman. Where were you all 3 trials?
Well, that's why I respect you a lot too, Angel, because you could obviously speak on your family's behalf, and what you actually do is you're pushing back and you're speaking on what you know directly to be true. You're not even giving anything that's removed hearsay, so to speak. So you know these things are lies directly, and
Right.
you're calling them out. And that you got to realize that's why you're getting people derailing over it, because they don't want to deal with somebody like you, somebody like me that's coming on, doing it the right way, proving their lies, telling the real story. They didn't have to deal with that for how long? Years, right? They never had to deal. They never had to deal with that.
Right.
Now all of a sudden the tide's changing and they don't like it. And that's why I have a problem with those who platform and those who enable. And when I say platform, I don't mean just interview like a standalone objective interview. I mean the ones that have them on time and again to spread lies time and again, not check any of those lies time and again. And then they want to say, oh, what? I'm just a professional. I'm just interviewing. No, you're not. There's a big difference between professionalism and a relationship. Like right now, you and I are chatting. We have a relationship. I wouldn't say Angel interviewed me or I interviewed Angel. We're having a conversation. And they need to be honest that that's what they're doing. They're just having a conversation. This isn't a hard-hitting interview to uncover truth. That's not what's happening.
Exactly. You're 100% right. Exactly.
Yeah, so that's what really blows my mind away. It just I would make peace with it. And I wouldn't shake my head if they were just honest out of the gate and said, this is what I want to do. I don't mind if somebody's an informant. I don't mind if somebody throws somebody under the bus. It is what it is. And I'm going to have them on and do that. Okay, I may not agree with it, but at least they're being honest. But you see so much hypocrisy where, oh, I don't like this. I don't agree with informing. I don't. But then, yeah, I spoke to this guy. He's okay. Yeah, he's an informant, but he's all right. I can't wrap my head around that. That goes on. That's crazy to me.
Oh, right. Well, like with Panisi, I knew 3 things that he said that were a lie. I personally knew that those
I
were
think I knew
lies.
about 400, but
Right. Well, but what I'm saying is, so I called him out on those 3 lies. I don't know if the 300 other lies are true or not. I only call out what I know personally to be true. Do
and
you
that's what gives
understand?
credibility, Angel. That's why it gives you credibility. If you notice, a lot of people don't do that,
Right.
and especially in this realm. This realm's insane. I mean, thankfully, I'm really not part of this. You're not either. We made our own little genre. What we're doing with pushback, so we're not part of that.
Exactly.
But I see a lot of inconsistencies. I see a lot of, and on all sides of the fence, people will make claims about somebody, and there's nothing to back it up. There's nothing to support it, and it's dangerous, and it gives me flashbacks of what a lot of these defendants go through. The prosecution will make a claim, the informant will make a claim which is totally not true, and then you have to prove yourself innocent, which isn't the way the system's supposed to work. But you have to prove yourself innocent, and you see that all over this genre. You see that a lot.
Exactly.
No facts, nothing to back it up. People making random statements, and then you get a ton of people who believe it. And I wish people would take a step back once in a while and say, all right, let me analyze all the different sides to this, and let me decide after that. You know,
You know, I don't know. I mean, I think you do know, because after reading Guilt for the Guiltless, um it doesn't it just blow your mind when they sit there and make up stories.
it used to blow my mind, but now I just almost made peace with it, that that's what they do, because they don't have the gumshoe within themselves. They don't have the constitution to say, okay, I did what I did. I'm going to pay for my own sins. It's irrelevant what anybody else did. I'm going to man up and do what I have to do. Instead, it's okay. What kind of deal can I make, and what can I say to make that deal?
You know what? It doesn't. Tell me if this happened to anyone that you know, which I know it did. So I'm just gonna say it anyway.
Sure.
When they they make up a whole relationship they had with someone in your family.
100%. That low life Pasqua made it that he was friends with my brother. My brother took a lie detector test, and one of the questions was if he ever even had a conversation with Pasqua. He said no, and he passed it with flying colors. My brother wouldn't cross the street with a guy like that. Wouldn't cross the street with him. So
Right.
yes, I dealt with that. And
So did Pasqua take a lie detector test?
of course not.
Exactly. My sister had to take. My sister didn't have to. My sister was so humiliated because of her sons and her family. My sister took a lie detector test and passed it with flying colors. And now they want to try to say that it was a Fugazi lie detector technician.
Of course, they're always going to say you got to expect that. You got to
Yeah,
expect.
exactly.
But you know what's ironic? It's always the ones getting accused who have to then prove their innocence. Somebody could just make up a lie, say something, and then you have to worry about disproving it. That's why, especially on here, I don't even care unless it's something like one of the podcasters was making inaccurate statements about we push back, and I made sure I addressed that, because it's not only me, it's everybody else involved, and I'm not going to have that get messed around or screwed with any way. So if I'm aware of it, I'll address it. But it's overwhelming the amount of nonsense that goes on that has no justification.
Exactly. And by the way, I thought that was one of the best shows that I saw in a really long time, because, you know, um, you know, to be fair, FBS didn't really know. So you went on, you 2 gentlemen,
Yeah, I don't think he knew either. I agree with you. I really
right.
don't.
So you acted like 2 complete gentlemen. You got your point across, he got his, and then it continued when you got off. MRE went on, and I mean, that was one of the best shows I saw in a really long time. Instead of the screaming, the cursing, the name calling, the attacking people's wives, attacking people's daughters. Didn't you think that was like really great?
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I'm not a yeller. I'm not a screamer. If you know, if
No, I know, I
if
know,
something
I know.
calls for that, if so, I'm not going to be yelling over a computer about it. You know, so when I have my debates, I think that's the best way to do it. And the truth is, I have nothing against Chris. I don't even know the guy. I don't really watch his show. I don't know anything about him. But when I was somebody sent me that snapshot. I said, okay, let me go address this because that's not accurate. And I thought we had a good conversation. I think I proved my point. I believe he wasn't aware initially, but I made him aware. And we didn't agree on a lot of things. I don't agree with a lot of things. I make it clear. I don't hold no punches with that. I do not agree with somebody being friends with an informant. That blows my mind. From my upbringing, from what's inside me, it blows my mind. I can never relate to it. Now, with that said, I don't expect people to believe that, to go by that route. That's just the way I am and the way people around me are. So he and I were able to have a respectable conversation. We got our points across. I'm sure he don't agree with a lot of what I do, and I don't agree with a lot of what he does. But that's life. That's how it goes. You could agree to disagree in life.
Exactly. But I thought it was a really good show anyway. I really did. Thought it was one of his really better shows. I thought the way it was handled was just perfect.
Yeah, he got a lot of good feedback on it too.
Yes.
I think it's
Yes.
and honestly, I think people learned from it. Maybe whoever was thinking the way he originally thought, maybe that clarified some issues.
Yeah, because I remember someone else accused this little group. We pushed back our little group of being misogynist and
Yeah,
racist. I mean, that was so
yeah.
so crazy.
Yeah, really racist. That's
Crazy.
why when I even came up with this, I announced that it's for anybody. I don't care if you're green, yellow, black,
Exactly.
whoever wants to be part of it could be part of it. So I'm not, comments like that, I laugh because do I really care what these people, some anonymous person thinks? I really don't care. I know the goal for this. I know the mindset of those involved. So I'm not worried about anything else.
No, no, right. I just, you know what? I try while you're speaking. I try, like I put my hand up so I can't see the comments. But I just saw one and I was cracking up.
You can read it.
I don't even want to. Just in the corner of my eye, I avoided the comments while you were speaking because
I just saw it.
I don't want to lose my
That
train
was
of
a funny
thought.
one. I saw it.
You saw it?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it.
So I'll take it off real fast. But I am so proud to be a part of that. I really am. I mean, I was so proud of Chris Casparosa with the JohnALifeFacts.com. This I am so proud of too, like really proud of.
Yeah, and it's gaining traction. We get a lot of emails, and when you start getting emails with people that are concerned about it and people that are bashing it, you're on the right track.
Yeah,
That's when you know you're on the right track.
exactly. And whenever you want to read those emails, I'm ready to listen to them.
Yeah, what we'll do maybe is because I don't put people on blast like that. We'll block out the names and maybe have some laughs.
Yeah, well, you could read them. You don't have to show them, do you?
Yeah, I could even read them. I could even read
Yeah.
them.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah, we'll have some laughs.
So anyway, is your appeal in or no?
No, the Rule 33 is still being weighed. We
Oh,
should
right.
have.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's right. I'm sorry. I meant the Rule 33.
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, end of January we should have an answer, and then we go from there.
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, I'm praying, so
I know that, and I appreciate that very
yes,
much.
yes. And
Where's MRE tonight?
oh, you know what? I don't know. He did I saw that he was on, and I went over there, and then it was over. It was
Yeah, he did a short one, I think, on the website.
yeah, on the we push back. Yeah, and then maybe he had to work. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
I'm proud to know these two people speaking. Will know on YouTube. Oh well.
Well, we appreciate that.
Yes, yes, yes. Here's my friend Angela. Same here, Angel. What can
I
people
think you had a
do?
few more people that wanted to get on, Angela. So I'll bounce off. I think
Okay.
Common Sense wanted to get on, but it was
Okay.
great speaking with you, and we'll do this again.
Where is Common Sense?
I don't know. I saw him say he wanted to get on earlier. So
Okay. Thank you so much, Dominic. Thank you.
No, thank you for having me on, and we'll do
No,
this again.
thank you.
All the best. Take
You
care.
too. You too. Okay. Where is Common Sense? Okay. Lavecchia is a hack. He knows damn well Tommy doesn't know the 3 foot. Exactly. He knows that. He didn't read the rest of the letter. Why didn't he read the letter? And that letter was from 2018, not 3 months ago. And by the way, hi, MTR. Hi, Miss Can't Be Wrong. I don't know if here you are. All right, I'm going to drop the link for you, okay? Common Sense? You see, it seems that way. It really does. I dropped it, Common Sense. Hi.
Hey, what's going on, Angel?
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. I feel better now.
Yeah, I know it's probably a lot to handle. I know we haven't ever, I don't think we've ever talked in person before, but I see you in the chat and I like your show a lot. And I like what you're doing.
Thank you so much. Really, thank you.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, no, I just wanted to come on because I didn't even know that show had happened until you mentioned it early on. So I clicked off to go look up the show to see what it was all about. And I'm so I'll be open, right? So a couple weeks ago, I don't know if you remember, but I actually went on to Tom's show when they were talking about this whole John Alite thing, right? And I reached out to Tom and I was talking to Tom on the phone because he was going to be quote unquote working on this story with John Alite, right?
Right.
So I started talking to Tom and explaining to him all the stuff that John Alite lies about and that he said he didn't know. And I find it funny that if you remember the last show that Alite went on with Tom, Alite was in a pretty hostile mood, right?
Exactly.
And isn't it funny today, the kind of mood he was in since the show started, and the name of the show was called what? The Reconciliation or something like that?
Exactly.
So you know that he was talking to him behind the scenes, working his ear to try to get back in favor with him because as everybody knows, his shows usually get what? 1,200 views, maybe 2,000 views on a good day.
Right.
So why do you think he has John Alite on? And he told me, and I'm not going to sit here and talk about our conversation because I'm not that type of person, but I'm just kind of aggravated right now because he's trying to say that he's here aiming at the truth and he was going to hire a journalist to go do this and look through all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. When the reality is he doesn't care about any of that. He cares about views.
It's all he cares about is the views. Exactly.
100%. It's 100%. He's happier probably than a pig in shit right now that he got Buddy. But and then the first thing he starts out asking this guy is about his new podcast and his new show. Like they didn't just have this conversation a couple weeks ago where he was calling him out.
Exactly.
And I just don't understand. I don't know. I guess it's just kind of annoying even more for you being in the family and listening to this guy tell lies about it. But what I don't understand why you would say I'm searching for the truth and I'm going to look into this stuff. And then every time, like I literally gave him like 20 different stories about stuff that this guy's lied about. That's not only in his books, but in the trial transcripts and the testimony. He didn't bring up one thing or ask him any of it about it. Not one thing.
Exactly. And then he emailed me asking me a few questions I told him exactly, where to go to look for it. And I
Uh,
even told him some of the things, especially about the Mikey Scar's testimony for the first three trials, and then
Never mentioned Alite once.
until the fourth trial.
When Alite was this quote unquote star witness.
Exactly. He
So
totally ignored all of that.
yeah, and that's the biggest thing, if John Alite was this alleged, Gambino soldier and this hitman for not only your brother but for your father, who the government pretty much knew everything about and had 100 different informants and people to testify in all these trials. Why wasn't he ever indicted as a co-conspirator with your brother in any of the three trials previously?
Exactly.
I mean, that should tell you pretty much all you need to know about where this guy popped up from and how none of it makes any sense.
I know you. I think you are more knowledgeable about the whole thing than I am.
Oh well, probably.
And
I kind of I kind of
sat
get into
through
these
all the
little wormholes,
trials. No, and I sat through all the trials, but you sound like you know it. Like you really know it.
Oh, absolutely. And when I was speaking to Tom, I told him that I would give him the information. I said I didn't really want anything to do with it. I didn't want to come out and get involved, but I have no problem telling you the information and where to look if you have any questions. And he wanted to talk to me and ask me this stuff, but ever since that day, I haven't heard a word from him. And now all of a sudden, he's got a show with this guy, and now they're all buddy buddy, and he's telling him that everything he found out basically is everything John Alite said is true. And it's like, that's fucking bullshit. I'm sorry to curse, but that's absolute BS.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
And then
He said,
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I didn't watch the whole interview. I just caught like 20 minutes, right? Because I wanted to come back on here and listen to your show because I really didn't even want to give this guy the view in the sub or whatever. But he said that he went back and he read the what's the name of his book that he wrote? The first book he wrote.
Gotti's Rules.
Yeah, that book, right?
Yeah.
This is how my whole thing started when I read that book because I know a lot about the story and my interest in the history and stuff like that. And I never heard of this guy in my life. That's how my whole interest started in the first place, right?
Right.
So I started watching a lot of his interviews, and you can see his stories completely change from 2014, 15 up until now in 2021. I mean, he literally, recently he started having Anthony Ruggiano Jr. do all these shows with him, right?
Right.
He's got him jobs doing National Geographic, telling these stories. He's got him on his podcast, getting the money to do these interviews and putting him on all the same podcasts and stuff that he was on to get his name out there and help him out. So, of course, the guy's going to lie for this guy. They have nothing else going on. It's like one hand washes the other.
100%. Now, I'll tell you this. Ruggiano, how come they never called him to testify against my brother?
He didn't testify in any of those trials, correct?
He did not testify against my brother. You want to know why? Because he didn't know my brother or a damn thing about him. So how could you claim to be so close with Alite and Alite was tougher than my brother and this and that when you didn't know anything about my brother? You didn't know my brother. And he greatly exaggerates how close he was with my father. 1,000% he greatly exaggerates that because he wasn't. And I was very close, almost best friends with his ex-wife.
Oh, really?
Yes. And my son and his son were best friends.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I didn't know that part.
He's a liar. He's a liar.
Well, he's definitely a liar, and he's absolutely lying for Alite. And we could bring up a couple of things here because, Alite started this whole story about how he originally started out with Anthony Ruggiano Jr.'s father, Fat Andy, right?
Right.
Now he's telling this whole story about how since he was in the neighborhood, he was doing stuff for Fat Andy originally, and when Fat Andy went to prison, he got basically handed over. This is Alite's claims now. We know it's not true, but he claims then he got handed over to your father, who was then running the neighborhood. Well, for people that don't know, and I'm sure you do know this, but Fat Andy Ruggiano Sr. wasn't even in New York during those early 80s. He was running all the crews out in South Florida.
And you know how I know that you're right? Because
How's that?
my ex-husband, Lewis, right, who passed away,
Yep.
his brother and Anthony Ruggiano's brother were very, very close friends. And so my ex-brother-in-law went to Florida with them.
Yeah, in the early 80s, right?
Right, exactly. They were not in New York.
Nope. He was running all the crews down in South Florida, and he, Alite says that when Fat Andy Ruggiano went away, then he went on with Gotti since '81. Fat Andy Ruggiano Sr. didn't even go to prison until the early 1986. He went on the run in '85 and wasn't even arrested until after the Paul Castellano hit.
Right. See, I don't know any of that stuff. That stuff I don't know about, but I do know he was in Florida, and
right.
And
Yep.
so was my ex-brother-in-law with them in Florida.
Yep, exactly. And now another story that he has Anthony Ruggiano Jr. telling, which is completely different. We'll go back to the Gotti's Rules book. In the Gotti's Rules book, and don't forget, George Anastasia said, I spent hundreds of hours with Alite. I went over his whole story. He's never changed the story one bit. This is all his words verbatim. I looked it all up, right? In that book, John Alite tells a story about a guy that he had a problem with in the neighborhood who Fat Andy Ruggiano Sr. and Jr. helped him out solve the problem with by taking the guy up to a building and throwing him off the building, and the guy broke his leg and he was in the hospital for a couple of months. In all the last interviews and podcasts that he did with Anthony Ruggiano Jr. on it, and in the Nat Geo documentaries and all these other shows, John Alite has a news story where they took the guy up to the building and they threw him off and they killed the guy for him.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well,
so in your biography, the guy breaks his leg and now they killed the guy for him.
But
that's a pretty big lie.
But I never heard that story on the stand.
Oh, I've never heard of that. Yeah, I've never heard that story in any of the trial transcripts, and I read tons of them.
Okay, because I never heard that one before.
No, nope. It's a new one that he's got Anthony telling for him now too. So just for everybody to want to look it up to see if I'm telling the truth, you can go to find it in the Gotti's Rules book and then listen to all his latest interviews about how they killed the guy recently. And the other thing that's funny is that in that Gotti's Rules book, Alite says that the first time that he even met your brother was in the summer of 1983, and he never even really talked to him or ever seen him around until almost a year later.
Exactly. He exactly, because that he met my brother through my ex-brother-in-law, and that was 84.
Carmine.
Yes, that was 84.
Yes.
Because but he also lied because I got married in 83. He lied and said he was at my wedding. And so
Alite said that?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't hear that one.
Oh yeah, years ago. He was at all our weddings, including mine. He was at all our parties. He was never at any of our parties. And then he says that my brother is at his house with a picture holding his son. Meanwhile, that wasn't true. What it was is his wife, Carol, was at my brother's house for my nephew's birthday, and my brother took a picture holding his son.
Oh, I know that picture that you're talking about. So that wasn't at his home in New Jersey then. That was here in New York?
That was in Long Island, yes. Massapequa.
Wow.
Exactly.
I'm not surprised by it.
And another thing, he said that he this is funny. It's sad. It's not even funny, but he said that he was a part of the Louis DeBono thing and all this. But meanwhile, Kevin McMahon, who is another operator, testified for my brother for the defense that Alite had nothing to do with it. That he was a liar.
Yes. Who was there was another individual, I forget his last name. I'm going over it. He was an alleged made member who also wound up turning government witness in that trial. I forget his last name, but Alite was saying he was there for all these meetings, and then the guy went on the stand and testified and said, I only met Alite one time at a McDonald's, and we were talking about something that had nothing to do with that.
Was it Peter Sicaro?
Yes, Peter Bud Sicaro. There you go. That's who it was. Yep.
Yeah.
So not only did Kevin McMahon,
he was another witness for the defense. The defense called him.
Yes, that's what I was saying. Not only did Kevin McMahon discredit him, but Peter Bud Sakara discredited him, and so would Joey D'Angelo about the Curtis Sliwa thing too,
Yes, yes.
which Eli lies about and says that he was asked to do that job and he declined it and said, "Oh, I'll never hit a reporter" and all this. Those guys testified against Eli too and said that that also was a lie.
Right. No, there was not anyone who had the same story as him. Even the guy he claims who was his friend, the cop, Barone.
Yeah, Phil Barone.
Story than him. Exactly.
You know what the funniest thing I find about that? That was the murder of Johnny Gebert, I believe, correct? Where they were in the car drinking drinks.
I thought it was Georgie Grasso.
Okay, I get the two confused, but yeah, they said that they saw him out at a bar one night, and John Alite was saying that he had this big elaborate scam to set this guy up, where he was telling his buddies to drink liquor, and he was drinking shots of water or something like that.
Right.
So this criminal mastermind, Alite claims that, we set him up at this bar. We lured him over to a bar, and I was feeding everybody liquor, and I was drinking shots of water so we could set this guy up so he wouldn't know. So this criminal mastermind had the two getaway drivers, the guy driving their car and the guy driving the other car, driving around drunk while he was planning a murder.
Thank you. That's exactly what Chris Casparosa said. Exactly. So
yes.
Yeah. Exactly. You this criminal mastermind, you had your getaway driver.
Your getaway drivers driving drunk. Right.
Exactly.
Incredible, huh?
Exactly. So his I just can't believe that people believe this guy. I really can't. I just don't understand how you can First of all, there's going to be things that are coming out that the people that are platforming, like especially Tom, you're the first person I'm going to call out. And then Nadu is the second person I'm going to call out. As soon as this stuff comes out, I'm calling you both out. And I hope.
Why? What did Nadu have to do with it?
No, Nadu wrote another story that was not true, but not about Alite. That was something else. But
okay, I didn't know about that one.
Tom LaVecchia, I'm going to call you out as soon as it comes out. I'm going to go into your chats and I'm going to tell everybody, come and check out what's on.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'd be interested to see this too.
Yeah.
You have a date or anything on it, or?
Do I what?
You have a date when it's coming out, or?
Yeah, it was supposed to be August.
Oh, so it's backed up right now?
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I'll be looking forward to that.
Yes.
I just think that honestly, that it's kind of sad that the more people that platform this guy, the more credibility and the more ego and balls that he has to go out and continue to push these stories, because he knows that unfortunately a lot of people don't have principles or character. They care more about what helps them and their goals than they do about the actual truth.
They don't have integrity.
Yeah, there's no integrity. Tom's biggest concern about calling him out was that, if it's not true or whatever, I'm going to burn my bridge with him. If I ask him about this question or I ask him about that, he's going to, not want to do the interview or not talk to me anymore. And I said, yeah, that'll give you a lot more credit and credibility that you actually asked him a question. The guy hangs up on you and doesn't want to talk to you, than it will to continue to platform and let him tell these lies and you enabling him to do so. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I just can't understand where people come from. I mean, I guess I just wasn't raised that way, and I'm not that type of person where I'm going to, sell myself out to get views and subs or money or whatever it is, or people to know my name, than to go and let somebody come on there and lie and me enable them to do it.
Exactly. How did you get so knowledgeable about all of this?
Well, I come from an Italian American family, and I've always been, I love reading books and watching the History Channel and stuff like that, and just you kind of learn about the history of it.
Yeah, but I'm sorry to interrupt you. How did you know how to decipher what was true and what was bull?
Oh, well, like I said, I had heard about the trial, and I wound up, getting the book, both the one that your brother wrote and the one that John Alite wrote. And like I said before, I had known quite a bit of information about, what happened, prior to that, and hearing this guy's name and never hearing about him before in any book or any documentary or anything I ever read before, I started getting interested in finding out, well, hey, what is this guy talking about right here? Let me look into this. So then I don't know if a lot of people know, but you can actually go on Google and you can actually get trial transcripts and stuff like that right off of the internet. So I started going in and I started reading trial transcripts, and I started reading the testimony from previous trials from people like Mikey Scars DiLeonardo and other individuals that testified. And I started figuring out that, none of the stuff that this guy's saying is even true.
Exactly. Okay.
And then it just kind of snowballed from there. And then, shortly after that, he started doing his little, publicity tour and going on the internet and doing all these interviews. And I seen him changing his story from interview to interview. Now, I'm one of those people that if we have a conversation right now, in 6 months from now or a year from now, I can probably recite it back to you pretty much word for word.
Right.
I have like a photographic memory. If I read a book, I'll pretty much remember line for line everything that was said, 5 years from now. I don't know what it is or whatever, but I'm always good with that.
Right.
So the minute I hear somebody saying something that I know that I read or that I heard previously that didn't add up, well, then I take a note of it. I got notebooks on this guy. I was going to, before all this stuff started with the YouTube stuff, I was actually thinking about doing my own channel and taking clips from this guy's interviews and posting them up back to back to show all the inconsistencies and the lies that this guy was saying and doing. And I actually reached out to Chris Kasparov and I sent him an email. Like, it was shortly before COVID happened, and I had sent him a message saying, hey, I read a lot of information on your website. I have some new information that I wanted to run by you and see what you thought about it, because this is what I was thinking about doing, and maybe you could help me out. And it was about, Alite was telling a story on one of his podcasts. It was a new murder that he committed, which was his quote-unquote real first murder, which he claims he committed now with a baseball bat.
Are you
I don't know if you heard that one before.
No, I never did.
Well, neither did Chris. So I sent him the video and the timestamp on it, and I said, hey, I don't know if you have any of the 302s or any of the information from trial. I was wondering if you ever heard about this baseball bat murder before that John Alite did, because I don't remember ever hearing anything about it. And he said, honestly, I've never heard about that one either. He's like, this guy tells so many lies, it's hard to keep up with it. Kind of after the website went up, I really haven't followed up much on it in a few years. I think there's only been a few posts in the last couple years. Correct?
Yes, right.
Yeah, so after that, I just started kind of writing everything down. And like I said, I was going to try to take the video clips and post them up back to back from like 2015 to 16, and then what he's been saying in 2019 and 2020 to show people on the internet, like, look at how bad this guy lies. Like, he can't even keep up with the lies that he tells. They're so ridiculous. He told the one story about the guy that he allegedly shot outside of your house. One time it was a UPS guy. And another story, he did it for the Lucchese's for the guy Gene Barella was working for, Ronnie G. And they shot the guy, and luckily it was in the middle of the winter because the snow helped save his life. And then another time he had a knife on him and he was going to stab the guy 13 times, but then some other car drove by, so he had to get out of there. I mean, he's told like 3 or 4 different stories about the same event.
And now today it's my grandmother's house.
Oh, today it was your grandmother's?
Now, yeah, today it was my grandmother's house, not my father's house.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I wanted to compile all these video clips where he says outside of Gotti Sr.'s house, and let's qualify this because in other interviews he said, somebody had asked him, they said, well, wasn't Gotti Sr. mad that you did this right outside of his house? Like it was going to bring heat there? And he says, oh yeah, well, he was mad at first, but after I told him the reason that I did it, then he was okay with it because he understood.
Exactly. So now today it became my grandmother's house, but I guess he didn't know, the big hitman didn't know that the same block is Tony Pep and Tony Lee's block.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
my
Tony Pep was the guy that actually said he was an informant and was the reason that he got chased in the early 90s.
Exactly. He's so many lies. When you're a liar, you can't remember all the, it's not possible to remember all the lies that he's told. So he always messes up. Always.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's changed his story so many times on so many different things. I mean, it's incredible. You know, and when Dominic was on earlier, he said a key thing, which is what they use in court, and it's a Latin phrase. It's falsus in uno, falsus in omnibus. The minute that a witness lies about one thing, their entire testimony is discredited, and you can't believe anything else that they said. It's
Exactly.
basically what they used against Mark Furman during the O.J. Simpson trial. If you lied
Ex-
about this one thing, then you probably lied about all these other things. So when you take the
Exactly.
credibility of somebody who lies literally day to day and it's a new story, how can you believe any single thing that this guy says?
Exactly. 100%. I just, I'm so happy you came on. Really, I really am. I'm so happy that
Oh,
you came on because I've seen you. What were you on? You were on. First saw you on Fat Bull Sicilian show, right?
yeah, yeah. I go on and go on with Chris every now and again when he lets me on there. I have a good time. I
Okay.
like Chris.
Okay.
Yep. Well, I appreciate you having me on too. And anytime you want to come in and talk, I'd love to talk to you. I
No,
appreciate you letting me on too.
anytime you want to come on, just let me know. Just say drop the link and I'll drop the link.
All right, Angel, sounds good. I think some other people might have wanted to jump on if you're having anyone else on. So
Well,
thank you
thank
very much.
you. No, thank you so much. Thank you. I don't
Nope.
know if you want to tell your first name, so I'll just call you Common. Thank you.
Yeah, no, no problem. We'll talk again.
All right. Thank you so much. You take care.
You take care. Have a good night.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Wasn't that great? I'm so happy. I feel so much better. I had Dominic and Common on. I feel so much better. Angel, I know you know a girl from my hometown, Long Island. She was related to Funzie. Her husband Tommy died, and I believe you generously contributed to her GoFundMe. I did as well. Aw. You know what? I never take credit for anything that I do, but thank you. I don't know what this is. Duck Fought, Alabama. I guess you're talking about. Oh yeah, you must be talking about Alite. Uh, let's see. He always says that Junior ratted on him, but he can't show us some. You know how many times we have asked Alite for proof that Junior ratted on him, and he never has any proof. He never has any proof about anything he says. He has accused me of the worst things you could think of. Never had an ounce of proof. But that didn't stop his followers on Facebook from attacking me as well. The degenerate things that they said and that they did. Him and his degenerate friends on Facebook and Instagram. John Alite is the only person I know that lies about the lie that he lied about. Thank you. I thought I saw John Wolf somewhere, and I can't find it now. What is this? Miss Can't Be Wrong, just kidding. Oh, all right. I don't know what that is. Eli, better hope this guy doesn't get a channel. He's pretty passionate about this. I hope he does rip Eli in too. So do I. Common sense, you should start your own channel. Common sense, get everyone's 302s and you'll see who's a liar and who's telling the truth. You'll be surprised that everyone that is involved lied. No, not everyone. Sorry. I think Eli got a facelift. He's enjoying his notoriety. That's a facelift? Yeah, that's why she took a lie detector test and passed. He's a degenerate. Uh, Anybody know why Richie did Bobby Lupo? I keep seeing this and I have no idea what this is. Why I keep seeing this. Everybody has this in their chats. What does this mean? Hi, Vinnie Green. The company you keep, A-Rat's friends, they are all low lives. Trust me. She knows. Angela knows. She's been there since day one. .302s are what the government says and writes down. The government doesn't do audio or video. They can write whatever they want on the 302s. That's true. Yes, they can. And I believe that Alite said that on the stand when he testified against my brother, that he said that they made him, what they wrote in their 302s wasn't true. Something with him. Oh, that's from a movie? Oh, okay. I'm sorry I didn't get to any of these chats because I didn't want to get distracted, by what Dominic was saying and by what Common Sense was saying. So I'm sorry. Hi, Jerry. And hey, Ange, you're the best. Thank you. You know what? My ex-husband used to call me Ange. For whatever reason, I don't know. I don't know why he liked Ange. And like my best friend Judy calls me Ange. So I don't like when I'm mad. I feel better now. Didn't Alite admit he embellished while on the stand in court? Now, he actually said he lied. Embellished, lied. Yes, he did. He admitted it. Okay, Michael. If you're gonna, I hope you're not gonna say anything that's nasty. Okay, I dropped the link. Okay, I just dropped the link. I felt bad before because I saw that someone else went on. I don't know if they had theirs planned and I didn't see it, or if I had mine planned and they didn't see it. I don't know. Stop apologizing. That takes part of the what? Stop apologizing. That takes a part of the charm away. Thank you, Carmel. Alite and the prosecutor also admitted that Alite was an informant since 1991. Exactly. I like when Angel says, brother, you have the best accent ever. You know what? I noticed that. I do say brother. I also say Twitter, like Twitter. Do I say sister? You see, sister, I say my father, my mother. At least I don't say mother and brother. I know a lot of people who do that. How's your mother doing? Hold on. Oops, what did I do?
Hey, how you doing?
How are you, Michael?
Yeah, I'm doing good. So it's Ange or Angel?
My name is Angel.
Angel, okay. Yeah, everything they said was spot on. Like they hit the nail on the head. I love the two conversations they both said. and I love everything. And I want to say your channel is awesome. I love it. It's great.
Thank you so much.
And I'm deeply sorry for your loss with your dog. I love dogs. I have a dog myself. You see the Shih Tzu in the picture. That's my dog, Bongo. I want to just say I'm so sorry. I can relate to that because I have a dog too, and I love animals. So I'm so sorry.
Me too, and thank you. I appreciate that. That dog is beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a Shih Tzu, right?
Yeah, it's a Shih Tzu. It's actually it's mixed Shih Tzu and Maltese.
Oh yeah. I had a Shih Tzu when I was little.
Yeah, it's beautiful. He's 11 years old. He's going to be 11 in June.
Oh, good.
And he's a boy. Yeah, his name is Bongo.
Hi, Bongo.
Yeah. Yeah, I love dogs. So what kind of dog did you have? Sorry, like what is it? The
one who died today was Caesar. He was a Cane Corso. He's a big dog. Yeah, he's a big dog. And
I love the big dogs too.
Yeah, but the problem is that they don't have a long life.
The big dogs live only like 10 years, and the little ones, they live till like 15 or 16 years.
Yeah, exactly. It's a shame. It really is.
Yeah, it's really sad. And like they're part of the family. They become like they're part of your family. It's
exactly. They are.
Yeah, it's really. But my dog now, he's doing great, but he has this thing in his eye now. It's like a redness, and we're giving him like medicine for it. It just started like 3 months ago. So he has like this. I don't know. It's like a dry eye, but we're giving him like the medication, and it should go away soon.
Oh, good. I hope so.
Yeah, it's just, and he had it in the other eye too, but now it went to this eye. But yeah, we have to give him like eye drops and like this like gel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he gets better. I hate it. I hate when they get sick. I hate
it too.
Oh God.
I just don't like, and I don't even like when I hear about people's pets and that they're like ill, and I get very like touchy, I'm just, because I have a soft spot. I love, animals are the best. Dogs are better than people. Let me tell you.
100%. I say it all the time. Animals are better than people.
Yeah, they are. You can't trust anybody nowadays.
No, exactly. But you can always trust your dogs.
Oh yeah, they'll always love you to the end, no matter what.
Exactly. And they don't even, all they want is rub their bellies, and feed them and give them water. Let them outside. That's all they want.
Of course.
Mine likes to sleep with me though.
Yeah.
Mine
likes my dog sleeps with my mom and dad, and he comes in here. I take care of him too, and I walk him. But I take care of him when my mom and dad go away, like in the summertime, because they like going away.
Yeah.
So I take care of him, and he sleeps in my room, and I walk him, and obviously my sister picks him up. She takes him too. She's my older sister, but yeah, I mean, like he loves the attention.
Aw, they all do. They all do.
Yeah, it's great. And with those two guys that came on, everything they said about that. What's that guy's name? Johnny Alite.
Who? Oh, John Alite.
Johnny Alite. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. Yeah, everything they said was they hit the nail on the head. I couldn't like provide better content than them, but everything, because I follow all that stuff too. I'm Italian also, so I'm into all that stuff. So I can relate to that. I love all that, but I don't know, the information they were coming out with, it blew my mind. I was like, how the hell they could come up with all this info?
Yeah, they do.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, exactly. They do.
Yeah.
So if you want to learn more, just go to the websites like the wepushback.com.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And johnalifex.com.
Yeah. And I also watch that other guy, what's his name? Francisi. I mean, he's pretty good, but I don't know. Sammy the Bull. I think that guy makes up stories too. Sammy Gravano.
Yeah, see, I don't watch him, so I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. I would never watch him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of the stuff he says too is all BS. I don't know. It sounds like it's all.
Yeah. Listen, I guess you'll find out in the future, but I don't know because I don't watch him. I have zero interest in anything that he has to say.
I know. Oh, and I was asking you too. I think it was like last week or 2 weeks about this. What is it? The 7 fishes for Christmas Eve. We do that. You guys do that too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we do that. The
Yes.
galamad, the fried baked clams, the
Yeah, I don't even think it's intentional. Like,
yeah,
I don't even think like we say, "Oh, we have to do the 7 fishes," because I think we end up doing like 10.
10 of them. Oh my god.
I mean, we get
Yeah.
everything. I make
Yeah.
the
Oh,
I
we have
make,
the antipasta. That's always first.
yeah, we get that too. But I
Yeah.
make the crab cakes. I make
Oh
them.
yeah, the crab cakes. My friend does those crab cakes because I don't know. He says he doesn't like for some reason he doesn't like the shrimp. He says he likes the crab cakes.
Yeah, well, I make the lump crab meat.
Oh, that sounds good. I
Yeah,
love all that.
I make them low carb because my brothers well, they're always on low carb, and
Wow.
and I make like linguine with shrimps.
Oh, it sounds great.
Yeah, and then my sister has what does she have? She gets the fried galamad, the
Oh
shrimp.
yeah, I love all that stuff.
Yeah, she gets the with fried fillet.
Yeah, and then there's the squingili. That's another.
Yeah, no, we don't really have it. I haven't had
Yeah,
that in a long time. I keep
I
forgetting.
yeah I used to have. My aunt used to make it, but I wasn't really a big fan of that squingili. But I like the fried galamad. It's delicious.
My ex-husband Louis, may he rest in peace, he made it. He made it so good too. He loved that.
Oh yeah, I love it.
We don't have that, but we get what else? Spaghetti and clams.
Oh yeah, baked clams is good. I love
Yeah,
this. What about that shrimp fried Diablo? I love that too. Shrimp fried Diablo.
yeah, but we don't do that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know why we don't do. I guess because I have the linguine with shrimp I
I
make.
know. Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm talking so much about food.
No, that's okay. I know you're making me get hungry.
I know. I talk about food, then everybody gets hungry. I do that.
Oh, that's okay. I can't wait. What?
Yeah,
Who's making fun of me? Hold on.
Christmas Eve is the big. Italians are big for Christmas Eve. Everyone knows that.
No, I say galamad, fried galamad.
Yeah, you gotta say fried galamad. That's the
Yeah.
Italian way.
It's
Not calamari.
calamari. We don't say that.
Yeah, we don't say calamari. We say galamad.
Yeah, and we don't say regatta either.
Ricotta.
Yeah, regatta.
And then
And
people say escarole. I say escarola. That's how
Yeah,
you do it.
me too. I say when you go to a restaurant, I go, do you have any scuttle? They go, what?
Yeah.
I go, scuttle.
Just like with cannolis, you say gannolis. I mean,
Yeah, and
that's the
what's
Italian
the
way.
other thing? Mozzarella. You say
Yeah, mozzarella. Yeah,
mozzarella. I say mozzarella. You have any mozzarella?
yeah. The Americans, they say everything different.
Yeah, I know. I know. Or they say marinara sauce.
Yeah, yeah. It's marinara.
Yeah, marinara sauce.
Oh, God. Yeah, you're right.
This was fun, Michael.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
It was fun. I like.
Thanks. I appreciate it so much. We'll definitely talk again on you. I mean, this was great.
Yes, anytime you come back. Yeah, we
Oh,
say
yeah.
the deals. I don't
God.
say Cavatelli. No.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm looking at this. Common sense. Nobody pronounces the E exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. This was fun, Michael. Thank you.
Yeah, I was just
so
gonna tell
much.
you, and definitely next time we'll talk again. Thanks, I love your channel. Lots of love.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime, Andy.
All right, thank you. Oh, he clicked himself out. I didn't even know how to do that. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much. Everybody, thank you for coming. Hi, sis. Oh, look at this surprise. Hold on. Hello there, Spiffy.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What a nice surprise.
Yeah, I just wanted to come on for 1 second just to say one thing, and then I'll let you go.
Are you gonna curse?
No.
Okay, go right ahead.
No. I wanted to just, because you were talking about that jerk off Tom LaVecchia.
Yeah, you cursed.
Well, that's not really a curse word. If I called him a fucking jerk off.
Oh, you cursed.
But he got that letter from me. That's no secret, right? And one of the things that I find truly astonishing is he asked me if that letter belonged to me. And I have the emails, which I will put publicly, because he said, are they real? Are they legit? I said, of course they are. And he says, wow, Alite's a liar. And it's amazing to me how he turns around weeks later and says that the letter was 3 months old when I got that letter in 2018.
No. He didn't say it was 3 months old. I just used that as an example.
Wow. Well, either way, it was from 2018.
In other words, his explanation for that letter was, in other words, that man, what's his name? Tommy Karate was only saying he didn't know Alite because, look, he might be coming up for release soon. So yeah, he's going to write a letter denying he knows anybody. Could you imagine that's his explanation?
Well, here's what I want to say. He allegedly said in his little video that he took weeks and weeks and weeks. Why didn't he just write Tommy a letter himself and ask him?
Exactly. It's that's why when I text you before and asked you, somebody said that they love the way I say ask, but because it does sound like ass. But when I text you before and I asked you what year that letter was from, that's why I asked you, because he made it sound like it was just recently. And of course he's going to deny it. He's coming up for release soon. So he's just going to deny that he knew anybody. No, that's not what he said. And first of all, the letter was from 2018 and he didn't even read the letter, because in that letter, doesn't it say that he was in prison when Alite claimed that this stuff all went on?
Yeah, he was in prison at the time. And when I brought it up to him about John Alite, he had no idea who he was. And he had to go to johnalitefacts.com to even find out who the guy was.
Okay, exactly.
So I don't know why Tom is doing what he's doing, but I think it's funny because in the last couple of weeks, I have several emails with him begging me to do his show. And I told him I won't do it. I refuse to. The guy's a scumbag, especially after everything that's happened to you and to me and a lot of other people. I just don't understand how you can just allow somebody to just lie and sit there nervous. I don't get it.
Right. And didn't he also say that that he would never give anybody who hurt women a platform?
Yep, that's absolutely what he said. But then
exactly.
Again, it's the same guy that has repeatedly gone on his own show drunk and allowed people to call other people racist names. So, it's one of those things where he's pretty much a big hypocrite at this point. He's into the drama that's going on. And I just think that if you're going to be fair and you're going to do an interview, even like Dominic said, you got to ask tough questions and not be a coward. And he sat there like a coward the whole time.
Exactly.
That's just my 2 cents. I can't go too much further than that with it, but
I know. Common sense is going to come back in.
Well, I'm getting out of here. Have a good one.
And thank you, Spiffy.
All right.
Bye. Hello.
Hey, Angel. I just wanted to say one more thing that,
yes,
Jeff just brought up about the Patera thing. So I also told you, I talked to Tom and I told him this exact thing. And when John Alite wrote the Gotti's Rules book and he talks about that alleged hit team that came to kill him on his property,
right?
When he wrote that story in that book, the year that he gave, I think he said was in 1992 or whatever. Tommy Karate Patera got indicted, I think, in the summer of 1990. He was already in prison when Alite claimed that this entire thing even happened and was orchestrated.
Exactly. And that's what it said in the letter. He wrote that in the letter. So Tom chose not to read that part of the letter. He chose not even to read the letter, to be honest. But it says it right in the letter to Jeff. I mean, to Ma Talk Radio. It says, he says, I was in prison at that time.
Yeah.
So why didn't Tom read that part?
Because it doesn't help us.
The truth.
Yeah, he's not looking for the truth. He's just looking for a relationship with him so he can have him on his show and get his, 20, 30, 40,000 subs that he has to come over there and get views out of it.
Exactly.
I don't understand any other reason for doing so unless it's that, because if he talked to Jeff and I talked to him and he told me he was talking to other people, there's no way that the end conclusion he got is that Alite's telling the truth.
Exactly.
It's impossible.
Exactly.
And when Alite and Anastasia were doing their book tours, I was posting on there asking him these questions, and he started blocking me and telling everybody that I was your nephew.
Oh my God! Wait, I gotta get a can of seltzer.
Yeah.
I need my seltzer. Hold on. That's exactly what he did to Chris Casparosa. He was accusing Chris of being one of my brother's kids. Exactly.
Yeah, him and Gene started threatening me on their podcast page, saying, "Oh, I know who that is. That's one of their nephews. He's a heroin addict, and he's this and he's that." And I'm like, "Dude, I don't even know them. I've never met them before. I don't even live in New York, and I have no idea who you're talking about. But I can guarantee you that that's not me. But I'm sorry you feel that way, because I was just dropping facts and asking questions, and they didn't want to answer them or do anything. So instead, they tried to discredit me and say that I work for you guys, and they're paying me to post these messages and ask these questions." And I'm just like, that just pretty much says it all right there,
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Well, I'm not going to comment on the whole Gene thing right now.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I didn't mean, yeah.
No. There's a reason why I'm not going to comment on him right now, but I 100%, I've heard this many, many times. You're not the only person who has said this. And everybody who doesn't believe them automatically is either working for us or is one of us. They just can't get their brain wrapped around the fact that people don't believe them. So because you don't believe them, you automatically are one of us, or we pay you, or it's always, I've heard this, so many people told me this.
Yeah, well, so you know that what I'm telling you is true. So.
Yes, I know exactly what you're saying is true.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I think that Alite, targeted him to get onto that show with him, because you have to remember of who he's related to. He's related to Ruggiano. So it's only in his benefit to get buddy with his cousin so they can all do their big grift and lie for each other. You see?
I know.
So that's what I believe. That's what I believe it is.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. So if anybody's wondering about the Patera thing, it's absolutely not true. MTR wrote him a letter. It's also, you can look at the timelines in the book, the year that Tommy Patera got indicted and was in prison. And there was another guy who actually was the one who cooperated against Tommy Patera. I think his name was Frank Ganji.
Exactly.
And Ganji had heard about Alite and kind of befriended him, and they were buddy on Facebook. And I guess after Alite started talking about that Tommy Patera story, Frank Ganji flipped on him and said, "That's absolute not true. I've never heard of you. You definitely didn't have a problem with Patera, because if you did, I was his right-hand man. I would have known about it, and he would have killed you. You would have never made it out alive."
Exactly. He told him he was lying, and then Alite accused him of being drunk or high, or it's all on JohnAliteFacts.com. It's on there. The Frank Ganji.
Oh, that part's on there?
Yeah, this was a fight on Facebook.
It was on Facebook.
We all saw it.
Yeah, it was Facebook.
We all saw it.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that on there. So yeah, so you know about that part.
Oh, you didn't see it? You didn't see it on and I think also I think even Fatball Sicilian did a show about it. Also, he brought up the screenshots of the Alite Frank Ganji fight. They had it right on Facebook.
Yeah, that's where I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so you saw it on Facebook. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I had heard about it, and then I saw what was going on, and I was like, "Oh my God, look at this! This is great."
Right.
I thought it was great.
Right.
And that's a guy who was literally with this guy every single day. He's the one that literally got the indictment against Patera and gave him the information. Surely he would have known about this.
Right.
He would have known about And then on top of it, Alite had to double back because he said that they had this big sit down over it where Patera had to come over to the club. And, a lot of people don't understand how this works, but when you're in the quote unquote Cosa Nostra, or you're part of organized crime, drugs are forbidden. You cannot have a sit down over a drug beef. If some guy says I'm selling drugs, he can't go to his superior or his captain and put a beef in over a drug beef with another family, because you're not supposed to be selling drugs at all in the first place.
Right.
So they can never even go and put in a beef with another family that they had a problem with this guy. And the other problem is that not a lot of people want to talk about, and Alite surely won't mention this, but according to court transcripts and records in the trial, Tommy Patera was the one who allegedly took the contract to kill Willie Boy Johnson as a favor, right? This is according to court records and transcripts.
Wait,
So
listen.
now if you have,
wait. I'm gonna let you tell that story, and I'm gonna be right back. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
You want me to wait
tell
for
that
you?
story. Yeah, tell that story, and I'll be right back. I have to just let my dog out real quick.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Okay, go ahead.
Yep. So basically, according to court transcripts and testimony from several individuals, Tommy Karate Patera, as a favor for Gotti and the Gambino family, because he was in Brooklyn, he was the one that took the contract on Willie Boy Johnson and carried out his assassination as a favor to the family. Now, Patera had a close relationship with the Gambinos and Gotti and did them a favor. Now, don't you think that if Patera had a problem with John Alite, an associate of the Gambino family with these guys, if they had a problem, they would have just handled John Alite themselves. They wouldn't have needed to go and have a sit down or send this guy over there to threaten him. They would have just called him in and got rid of him himself. Yeah, Mob Talk Radio. I know she's leaving me hanging here, but that's all right. I just hope that a lot of people, can go on Google and go and do your research and check out a lot of stuff that's claimed, because all these other podcasts are going out there for their own intentions and platforming this guy and perpetuating his lies and giving them the arena to go out and continue to do this. And I just find it aggravating, and I could only imagine how they feel being, directly related to the situation. I don't know if Angel's coming back now or what.
I'm sorry, I'm back.
Oh, no problem, Angel. Yeah, Mob Talk Radio. That is a problem. They won't do basic research at all. And it's even, even if you hand it to them and you tell them where to look up the information, and I even gave this guy the places to look, the interviews to look, the timestamps, the books, and all the information, and it wasn't even used and nothing was even said about it. So that to me tells me that you weren't looking for any of the truth to begin with. I think he was just looking up a way to mend his previous conversation where this guy was mad at him and worried that he wasn't going to come back on the show to get him his, 10, 15,000 views that he's going to get off this, in my opinion, BS interview.
Right.
But hopefully the more people go out there and talk about it and present the information, people will really, open their eyes up and see what's going on here, because I think it's wrong. The reason that I'm in this is that, I've gotten lied on before in a situation like this. And when the people that I hate the most in this world are liars. So when I see stuff like this, it just really gets me aggravated. So I know exactly what you guys are going through and how you feel. So
no, thank you.
So that's all I wanted to say. And if I can, and I could chime in and I could talk and help, But it's crazy because, no matter how much information you tell these guys, and you can show them, you can literally lead the horse to water almost, but you can't make them drink. A similar thing that MTR had just said, where he said, "Oh my God, this guy's a liar." Well, he told me the same thing, and here you are, less than 2 weeks later, and I checked out everything you said, some of it off the record, on the record, and everything you said was pretty much true. Like, come on, man.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
I just think it shows people's true characters and their integrity and their intent at that point. I don't know. It's just not something that I personally can respect,
Exactly.
So, but all right. I don't want to
Thank
to
you
time here. I
so
appreciate
much.
it so much.
No, thank you
Definitely.
so much. And anytime you want to come on, just say drop a link and I'll drop it. Anytime.
All right, Angel. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
And sorry to hear about your dog.
All right. Thank you.
Take care.
All right. You too.
Bye.
Bye. That was great. Hi, mind someone else's business. I didn't want to interrupt common sense. Okay. All right, guys. This was great. I'm not even putting that comment up. Mind someone else's business. Thank you so much. I feel so much better than when I first came on. Thank you. Wait, let's see. Let me just, I didn't do any of the comments and I'm sorry because I wanted to pay attention. You get sidetracks with the comments. Sidetrack. Oh my God, only good show. Oh my God, with the drama going on. Yes. Do you have to worry about coyotes? No, but I did hear there's hawks over here. So hawks, but God help a hawk who tries to take one of my dogs. God help him. And the feral cat is in like this big, huge cage. So the cat is protected, but no coyotes. Thank you, Michael. I love talking to you too. That was fun. Good night, Carol. And thank you. Great show, Angel. Have a good night. Thank you, Marla. You too. Have a great night. Trucking with Joka. Alite was an associate, not a made guy. The mafia doesn't have. Exactly. I mean, listen, read my brother's book, Shadow of My Father. Read his book. See, the one thing about my brother is my brother knows that if he says one thing that is a lie, they will put him on blast. They will put him on the newspaper, the front page, all this crap. So read his book. That's okay, Cousin Paulie. We've got, oh, you live in Alabama? You have coyotes? Oh, I could never live there then. I could never have them touch my animals. Okay. It's almost 2 hours and I am going to go now because now I have to let my dog back in. And I thank everyone for coming. Thank you so much. I didn't plan on doing this because I was a little down, over Caesar and everything. But I'm glad that I did because I feel a little better. You guys all made me feel better. Thank you so much. Everybody have a great night. And thank you.